staying in the same place. Meanwhile, everybody else has decided to pick apart other different sections here, and it's going to be the Matab that's going to be the main stable for where this next circle is going to be for our game number 3. Let's get it going. Last chance qualifiers. Let's go, baby.
Frostbite's going to be going into the Camel's Hump. J-Team Pace looking to try to engage upon this. Now, he's looking to try to get some loot out here. He has no armor on standby, but he is just trying to make sure things can be met before Pace makes his arrival. Now, Moonfall Pass has Akame and Sorrel into a fight. You can see the dash LMBs coming between both of these, and there's going to be the Stoneform proc coming out here for the jump LMB. As Sorrel looking to try to tower drop this RMB, there's going to be the F2, but with the investment into that place, you can see an LMB to the RMB charging up here from Akame, making sure to corner this one off. And Dabi, I think it's going to be a chance for Sorrel to look for this neutral position for himself.
Let's see if the neutral. It looks like the neutral is going to be his best friend here. As Akame is going to catch him in the jungle. Oh, he might be able to actually dish him out all the way to the end. And yes, he does. Doesn't have any chance to really try to maneuver through that there. That's actually unfortunate here. Meanwhile, going back on the inside here, Dr. Fang trying to see if he can capture this one with the dual halberds. He's going to try to slowly close this in as AS decides he needs to dip out. He finds a great shield swap. And it looks like, listen, sir, it's being real tough out here for him, especially if he's going to try to see if he can close this out.
F1 going to be invested, and I think Fang is going to be really going to be able to capitalize off of this. The tree is going to be AS's salvation here. He's looking to scare rush in and out. I saw this into the day 4 for the finals for week 4, where a lot of these players ended up going to the salvation podium and being on the underground and just keeping themselves on the momentum push. But you can see AS is going to want to turn this around, but gets parried as a result. Fang finding his first elimination off of the salvation podium. He could be cleared for this one, dog, and I think he might be actually be able to, find the puzzle for himself.
Let's hope he does here. He still has some time, though. Let's hope he's been able to study exactly how that puzzle works exactly, because me personally, I still haven't been able to get it right. As we're going to look through here and sees Action trying to see if maybe he can close in this gap here between him and GG Shaw. It looks like he's going to here. He wants this fight. He wants the smoke. It looks like, all right, he says, all right, Shaw, if you want it, let's get it. Nice little swip on the other side here. Going to try to see if he can go through the dodge movement here with that. Absolute clangs on both sides here, but it looks like it's going to be the absolute wrong side for GG Shaw here. As it looks like he's going to deplete his heals and his shields. He's going to slowly close in this gap here. Ooh, nice movement. Trying to see if maybe he can connect it. Almost catches him on the outskirts here, but it's not looking good as GG Shaw might get caught in a third party, sir. It's not going to look good towards him here as he's going to try to see if he can maneuver, but it's not looking good.
Straight kind of look for that third party, especially looking for the scare rush here as he's trying to charge the RMBs on the same point. Joichi looking to try to be the Justine that he can be and catching a little bit more rage play. We're going to see Sorrel fighting up against CDY over by the Moonfall. We're going to see a chance for CDY looking for his chance to get caught by the purple focus, and the trap walks right into it, takes a little bit of more damage. The F1 is invested and into the ultimate. You can see CDY trying to get as much as he can here as the value comes through for Sorrel as a purple staff in hand. He's going to activate the V2 ultimate, looking for the level 3 swing. CDY looking for these RMBs. He can get a parry off if Sorrel really looks for it, but he's just going to bait out the stamina investment from CDY. As his dodges are going to be made. Scare rushing across the board. CDY going to be looking for the high ground here, and as Sorregun's looking for the reset W, I think it might be a chance here for Sorregun to really look for this forwarding action.
I mean, it might be helpful for him, though, as it looks like he's going to catch CDY in the air. Almost catches him with the juggle, sends him flying. Beautiful blow shot to be able to deplete the damage, but obviously, because of that, he's able to get the shield back up here, and now he's right back towards the fight here. He says, all right, I still want that energy. And he wants all the smoke. Ezreal able to jump and really dodge the majority of the hits that CDY is really trying to throw at him here. But now that chase starts to continue here. Oh, but the dual halberds is able to at least get some damage here, but not enough. Now he's going to go back for the reset here, maybe seeing if maybe he can keep that going. He's just trying to stall for as long as possible so that way he doesn't get caught within another juggle. So just like this one here, both of them end up getting caught by the trap. Not looking good. CDY is actually struggling here as he's going to have to maneuver. Sir, it's not looking good. He's trying to get away.
He's got an ultimate to go ahead, though. He's going to have his F1 up again, and he's going to have the increased healing, so this aspect is going to be working out in his favor. He decides to play a game of chicken with Sorrel, who is not going to take the bait here. You're going to see another F1 coming out here, but a whole huge horizontal coming out from Fang. He finds a dagger in the Salvation Podium, his signature weapon, and working into the magics. He's looking to try to catch as much cigar rushes as he can. He looks for the high ground. He finds a position of avoiding the zipping ying. He wants Sorrel. He wants the blood, and you can see Akame rushing into the scene. He's going to see a low-health target. The moment he catches the grapple stagger, Dobby, I think this might be a good chance for Fang to actually catch a huge horizontal damaging ability.
He's got to be careful though, because that horizontal damage could really come back and bite him in the mouth. Especially if he ends up turning around and actually catches him in a juggle, let alone the fact that he has two people behind him here. So it actually is going to be really hefty, because if he ends up getting hit and then it ends up catching him up top, it's not going to look good for him, because now he's getting caught in a tough situation where now he's going to be on the wrong side of the tracks here. And it's not going to look good for him there, but it looks like Ezreal was able to find the freedom here. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, Fang. Oh, CDY, don't get caught with a stray now. It's not looking good, though. so far with that, though. It looks like CDY is back up, trying to see if they can capture it here with it. Nice little bits of heals, trying to see if they can connect towards it, but it looks like it's not going to be able to do too much here. Looks like they're both just trying to see maybe they can connect something, sir. I don't know if this is really going to be able to really get the... I don't know if this is really going to be the fight that we're hoping to see here.
Yeah, because Fang is in the background right now, right? So he's looking to try to wait for this timing of everyone exiting the building. The moment he hears a audio, he knows it's time to go ahead and engage because someone's escaping or someone's going to get killed off here. CDY catching himself in the F1 as he's getting caught to these R&Bs. Srugam putting the pressure here. Alchemy not going to be his combatant. And we're going to see a common armor swap left to right. He's going to find his blue armor again, looking for that reset here. As you can see, CDY is already outside the outskirts of the building. Fang looking to try to hunt down anyone who's remaining and healing off of here. He's got a longsword that's purple rarity, so if you're looking for longsword beams, now would be the perfect time for him to actually look for it. Goes for the scare rush, looks for the action. CDY looking to try to disengage from this whole position to move up past. We got Romy Yang Dabi in a couple of minutes or so. So these gamers are going to be looking towards it. They're going to have to be very careful about investing any abilities and ultimates beforehand.
Everyone's going to have to take that opportunity and that momentum. That's going to be very helpful for him here. As Fang, it looks like he's going to be able to go for the retreat here, just trying to get away as much as possible, as Esrael and Akame is now going through with the chase here. Mind you, Esrael isn't necessarily tough on his shield either here. It's not really like he's low or anything. He can still turn around and fight this, but knowing that CDY is also behind him too is not making this easy for him here. As he's going to try to see if maybe he can use this to his momentum as much as possible here, but obviously it's going to be very, very hasty here. And, ooh, almost getting caught by the roller. Don't get caught as Esrael ends up getting caught on the wall. CDY trying to see if he can conjure up and finish his elimination here with the juggle piece, struggling. Oh, all the way towards the sky as CDY is trying to find it. Esrael ends up going airborne here with the ulti here, trying to see maybe they can close it out. And Akame just trying to walk around here, man. But Esrael gets lucky with that. Luckily with the hottie. That's how you're able to get away. Sir, back at it again inside of the realm of Yang.
Star's going to be looking for himself. He's going to look for the F1 investment after the V3 drops. Pace has a purple longsword, so he can be looking for these longsword beams. Gets caught into the horizontal, cancels into an R&B. Star's clean with it. Making sure he can catch these parries here will be immense, and as the mayhem ensues, you can see Pace is looking for the longsword. He keeps his propulsion going. The V3 beacon is not going to be available here, but Star is looking to try to avoid the pressure here. The R&B from the longsword's coming out. There's going to be the F1 investment. Pace is looking to try to invest into this one. There's a dodge right into the middle of all this action. The uppercut comes out here, and there's going to be a kill confirmation here from Star. Is he looking for it, but the beacon drop comes out here, Dabe. This is going to be for round 2 between the Fairy Shens.
Absolutely insane here with this. This is absolutely filled with robots and a lot of fighting overall here, as he has to be careful as he ends up getting so many of the different moments to be able to deplete it here. It's not looking good as PST is already dangerously low here. He's able to get back out into this here, just struggling to try to keep the game alive as he's just slowly closing in this gap little by little here. Those bullets and pellets are not making it easy for him here as PST starts where he started from with the amount of shield that he needed. It's not looking good for him here. 5 seconds left on the clock. Star's going to have to force the ulti here, but it looks like it's not going to be enough as both of them are going to end up getting eliminated out of this. Sir, this is what happens when you take too long in the realm of Yang. It kicks you out. They say, you got to go.
No, you didn't pay your rent. What are you doing here? It was due with a kill. You ain't got the kill. And I think one thing is very important there is that Farius Shens, the moment you ult, it's just a game sustain, especially between both of those Farius Shens going up against one another. Now, we do have fights over here by Pinnacle Town where JJ Star is spawning in here. I think we're going to see Pace just waiting this one out before both of those targets engage. But the thing is that Star saw Pace, so he's going to be really just distancing himself out. Might make his way towards into the Fortress of Kaviani, but more importantly, has to go into a really well-invested area where players could end up going, finding the rotation of bells, and just being able to spot players off of this end, as Cam1 is also the other recipient of losing out the Romy Yang Dabi, where he's able to have to find those kills.
Going to have to here over time here, but it looks like it's going to slow down here as AS and Akame. AS might have just lost Akame. Never mind. He hits the bell. He's able to hopefully find one, ends up fighting two, actually. And he says, hey, you guys are in the middle of a fight. I'm trying to see what's going on here with this battle. What's going on? What y'all doing? AS starts to get a little nosy, wants to see, maybe he wants to get in with his tag here. Nice little kicks, at least over it. I don't think anything really hit overall here, as both of them are just going to try to continue to keep this maneuvering going here. But so far, down there towards the bottom here, they're both chasing it out here. And it looks like AS might have been successful in getting away here. But for sure, I mean, listen, it's not going to be easy for him. Kame is getting absolutely blown out.
He's got to be very careful here, as Fang is going to be looking to try to catch this Scare Rush up here. He's going to be looking to try to not use his ultimate as often as he can. He's going to also use it only to just kind of pressure off some opponents here. You can see him kind of being quick with it and trying to activate it. If he decides to do so, it's only because he's trying to confirm a push off between somebody and looking for a horizontal release. But more importantly, if it's a hottie, right, that you can just combo breaker out of it. 2 minutes on the clock for Cam, as he's looking to try to find some single target that is going to want to take the fight, but no one's taking that fight. And I think AS is in that same predicament where he is not going to have someone to want to take any sort of fights with a hottie. And obviously, right then and there, Dobby, it just comes down to this game of pressure. If a player finds that opportunity, there's going to be looking for a strike, because you can see Pace is here. He's hunting. He's looking for someone to go after.
Definitely looking forward here. The question is that going to be enough here overall? With this amount that's going on here, there's still a lot really happening here within this fight here, but still dangerously low. And also the time being here is not looking good, knowing that you still have some stuff that's been that you still have that time, that you still have to be able to work towards. You still have to be able to continue to create that momentum. You have to be able to pay attention to it and get a little bit more hasty inside of this moment here. Let's see if they can work towards it here in terms of what's going to be better for him. As Star going to be able to try to maneuver out of it. Definitely does not want to get caught in the worst situation possible here. Obviously still able to find it here. Now he's able to go through with the rotations here, but sir, definitely a tough spot for some of these areas here, as AS actually ends up losing some of his shield. He pops the ulti.
He's going to have to really be careful about this one. Cannon shots coming out from Jui. She might be looking for those range shots, as AS is looking for the heal backs. He's got 40 seconds on the clock before he can find a soul bloom. Otherwise, he'll get eliminated from this round completely. He's got a good lead in terms of the scoreboard right now, but he's still tottering in the top 3 right now with 3rd place. So now it's up to him to kind of look for those swipes. He finds Pace into one swipe. He's looking to go for a level 3 again, but he gets caught outside of his outside the realm of his disposition. His ultimate's done. AS looking for his chance for the R&B. He's looking to try to focus onto Pace. He finds the R&Bs, but a backliner push coming out from Jui Shi as the pole sword action comes out here. And he's looking to try to be as violent as possible. Cam is looking to try to find another kill for himself, because he's got 40 seconds on the clock too. He's looking for X in here, and he goes into ult form, and he's got V2 ready, and there's a Fairy Shen. Dobby, there's going to be a chance between the ultimates between the 2 giants into this lobby.
Definitely looking like it overall here, as they're both just trying to see if maybe they can time it right just a little bit here. But it looks like Cam is able to capture his first elimination. It's been a minute since he done found one, so it's good for him to finally be able to catch one here, at least overall here throughout this fight. Hard to close it out over in time here, but that also doesn't necessarily mean that it's impossible, as now they're going to try to see if they can work towards that momentum and see what makes sense for it. Timing can't be any better. It looks like Cam falling all the way down here, not looking good for him, and it doesn't even matter, as he ends up getting eliminated off this such a terrible and a tough situation to be in here. That's going to be a rip for him. He ends up finding the next opportunity for him to be able to clutch this out, but Akame all within 3 people here. It's not looking good. It's an absolute sandwich fest, sir.
He's going to be looking for the deli, because he's looking for that sandwich cut slice. And of course, if Akame is going to be careful with using his abilities right now, it would be time for him to head to the Romi Yang, if anything. Because all these players right now are still stuck into the Plum Castle. You can see someone enters the Romi Yang. Unsure as to who that was, so we're going to take a look in a second. It's going to be Jui Shi as one of the first combatants. He's got Justina Ultimate ready to go. He's got V1. He's got a gold pole sword, so he's holding on to that one from the first Romi Yang victory that he's able to kind of accrue. But for CDY, instead looking for the objective based over by the Ignis Bound, Fang is actually going to be closing into this position. Now, Fang has 2 eliminations this round, and I think right now with CDY being a potential 3rd is going to be what the Fang is going to be looking for. He's got a gold musket, if I'm not mistaken, or a gold dagger on standby still. So he's going to be able to come out here into the Romi Yang. Fairy Shen versus Justina. This is going to be where the freezes are going to be crucial here, Dobby. I think one thing is going to be leading into Star's benefit is that this Halberds could get himself a setup after he burns a combo breaker starting here into this first fight.
Gonna be good here. Let's see if he's gonna have the opportunity here, as Star does goes airborne, trying to see if maybe he can close in this gap towards it here. Obviously not going to be enough, just to try to see if maybe they can work towards it here. Nice statures here, and it looks like he's gonna be able to do enough to juggle Junshi out of the way here. Pops the ulti, trying to see if maybe they can close in this gap here with it, going back and forth here, and it looks like Junshi is gonna get caught inside of it. Beautiful hits from the dual halberds, and just like that, he's able to get the finish here. And JJH, just Star. He's starting to figure it out, sir. He's starting to figure it out.
Starting to figure it out. Put the pun out there. And he's also going to pick up a gold weapon. So whichever weapon that kind of works off, it's going to be a spear, might be converting it to a staff. He finds a purple pistol. I know you mentioned in the past how the pistol kind of acts like a shotgun, right? So it's kind of short burst, almost hit scan type ability. It kind of works off into the extension of being able to kind of catch targets into extending out the damage with like quick shots of blue focuses like the staff. It's a really great synergized, weapon deal where you're able to catch those last second hits and just dealing out extra poke damage damage. We've seen players go for those quick swaps in the short burst moments where they're able to switch to the pistol and just catch a little bit extra damage. Might be 200, might be 180, might be 370, and it really just matters of how well placed you center out that shot, and that's going to be where the aim assist or the aim that comes out into play here, Dobby, where the players are just going to be careful about it.
Meanwhile, on top of the mountaintops,
The big
they
three.
are not. They're not doing anything. They're like, so what y'all doing? I don't know. Meanwhile, Junchi going through with the freeze here, trying not to really get caught up in an interesting situation here. Both of them is going to maneuver through, trying to see where the next base really grows over time. Looks like overall, it's been a good look. And it looks like nice hits coming in from Junchi here. As Junchi absolutely getting destroyed by Fang. Oh my goodness. Junchi barely had any time to really do anything here. He's going to force the ulti here. Oh yeah, Shaw wants to capture this elimination here. He wants to close in this gap little by little here, but it's not going to be easy though. As he ends up capturing the grapple and the finish as Frostivus says, pew! Sir, that was crazy.
He's like, I'm yoinking that one, bro. And taking that kill is honed for second elimination. Now, Shaw finds Akame. You can see him trying to go for that longsword extension. Couldn't get it off because now there's a third party coming in here. JJH's Star reaching out to the stars with his last Roman Yang victory and having himself to force Akame. This is Shaw's best case scenario. Finding an R&B from the pole sword off of Akame right then and there would have been an elimination off of the V1. So that way he can proc the Sedate Soul, he can come right back into it, and just being able to find his opponent back into the spot of just being able to catch them when they're on their last legs, Dobby.
Absolutely. Even with everything that's going on here, it's still going to be good for him overall. Let's see if they can still keep that same momentum happening as Akame. Trying to see if he can run away towards this section. Not looking good for him. Still could be a good opportunity for him if he continues to keep that same rotation. Then we can kind of go from there. Wolves, though, trying to see if he can find it in terms of where it is or what makes sense.
I think one thing is that Wolves right now with that one elimination has to be careful about whether or not he's going to be wanting to push this one through. He is a Zipping Ying, and there's multiples of them in the lobby, but being careful about where you're at in terms of your kill potential and where you're at position-wise. He is in 6th place, and he's only at 0.7 difference now, or 0.4 difference between him and X. Now, X is down for this round. He's gone. He's got himself 2 eliminations this round, but Frostbus here going to be locked into the fight between him and Fang. It might be a chance here, Dobby, for Fang to find his other elimination because Frostbus is low.
Yeah, very, very low here. Not looking good for him here as Fang trying to see if maybe he can conjure up any type of momentum to try to close this out. Nice find towards it. Nice collision with it. Frostivus not looking good here. Getting caught and pushed, mostly bullied inside of this corner here. I have to take his moment here just to be able to maybe cross this one out. Getting absolutely hasty towards this one here. Has to be a little bit more careful. And it looks like Fang outside of the circle. It's going to try to see if he can maneuver into this. Maybe seeing if maybe he can squeeze into this somehow. He says, how can I put this in there with me? As now it's not looking good for him. They're both outside of the circle, sir. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. He's got to be making sure he can catch those heals before weakness escalation kicks in. His beacon's over there, but he's got to be very, very quick and hidden when he's entered into the zone. Because if anyone finds a lone health target inside of the zone coming out, they're going to be first off, they're going to check out the health and armor, right? They're going to be able to go ahead and find out if they're low. Now, he drops those HP Jades, which is a good indicator that he knows, and all the pro players kind of put this position of being able to heal back more health because those health Jades kind of depend on the percentage of your health at that point in time. So that way they re-pick it up and going off. But into the replay, Dobby, there's going to be a chance here for seeing a fight between Fang and AS.
And the fight between AS is going really well for it overall here. Nice timing to beat it as both of them is going to be able to go through. Nice dodging on each side here. Looks like Fang definitely does have the upper hand here with this one overall. Nice slashes to be able to cut this one out. Trying to see if he can dodge through. Timing is a little bit off for both of them though. But that's the thing that we talk about when it comes to some of these play styles. Not everybody is going to be able to really get to those moments here as much as you would like it to. And obviously, you do have to be very, very careful in certain areas here in terms of how that goes, because obviously when you look at stuff like that, that can really get really hasty really quickly.
Yeah, and it's also the weapon selection of like if like the instances that you just saw right there, Fang getting a chance using his daggers horizontal, just launch himself up is a great way for him to kind of just push that boundary line of what a normal weapon could do under normal circumstances. But he's finding this extension off the side of the rock pillar as he's trying to hunt down Railgun here. Railgun trying to disengage into the building side of the Pinnacle Town under the southern end. But we see GG Shaw, who is the Valiant Challenger. He's keeping a nice radar position across these targets, and finding into the zone here would be his best case scenario right then and there for himself to find an ultimate cast. And Dabi, if Railgun gets himself alive here, it's going to be a huge miracle play because a lot of these players are going to be looking for any sort of low health targets coming forth here.
I don't know. He's gonna have to be careful though. It definitely is not looking like that overall here. Let's see if maybe that momentum is trying to come through, but obviously with that, the ulti is gonna help him to at least be able to get away. The question is everybody gonna be able to keep up? That's the real important question here overall for some of these shots here. Trying to see if they can dish it out just a little bit more, and Esrael is able to keep his game alive and says, all right, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be easy.
I'll see y'all next week, all right? I'm gonna be over by the crib. But Railgun has to be careful with his F2 usage here. He uses combo breaker. Everyone can hear that. They can notice it, and they can take him locked down position. Of course, Railgun gets caught into the LMB, but doesn't get caught into the RMB instead. The Railgun chances here of surviving is going to be very slim. He's got to get outside of the Forbidden Seal if he wants to try to look for an activation of Ultimate, but everyone's looking for him. They're hunting for him. Akame finds the elimination with the RMB. Poison Splash is procced. Everyone's just taking a little bit of extra damage off of that end for the poke, but they have HP Jades. They got sustains. Frostmas is in a bad position here. It's the corner of the edge, and I think Dabi right in there. If everyone wanted to focus him, they would, but they're not. They're not taking the opportunity. They could just be looking ahead and backing off, except I think Akame is hungry for that.
He is absolutely hungry for that. I think he wants that amount of momentum here, and he wants to be able to see something that really does showcase how that all is put forth. And I think that's where like that timing really starts to show it. So he has to be careful here within these moments, because honestly, if he's not paying attention, he could really get absolutely picked off by some of these other play styles, and that's the one thing you don't want to do in this game here. But obviously for Star is doing pretty decent overall, not really forcing too much of his hand, and it looks like the timing could be just a little bit better, but he's caught between three, and he definitely doesn't want to get and smushed in between all of them though. So he definitely has to be careful here, because it could definitely not look good, and especially with the moves break happening, they have to keep the movement as much as possible. Sir, let's hope none of them get caught in the situation.
Oh man, don't get the cast across moment, because I think Star right then and there is right really close towards it. Frostfist is looking very earnestly and trying to hunt through and cut straight through to that shot. Fang couldn't chase because of that one Mume blast, so he's losing the race towards finding out any sort of low health targets. Now, Akame in this position of just being able to back off here. Frostfist in the spot, trying to be putting a little bit of putting respect on his name for trying to back off as everyone is trying to hunt him down. Now Shaw has his pulsar on standby, but Fang has been using the spear. Really quick short burst damage here for that cousin slam, for which is the vertical blue focus. And I think right then and there we're gonna see a Mume blast coming out from Dabi against CDY, who is gonna be having to invest his ultimate, and everyone's rotating around it.
Rotations obviously are going to be very helpful here towards that situation. Let's see if maybe they can work towards it and maybe be able to find it out. It could be something super helpful for him here over time. Let's see if it'll be worth it, though, even in that section or that area. Looks like Fang is going to be all the way up top here, right behind Star. Definitely could be some aggression for certain other areas here, but the question is, what makes sense? CDY and Shaw are fighting it out. Looks like they're going to go for the separation. The CDY is going to try to dip out and try to not get caught. Meanwhile, Fang is airborne. Expectations going into these close circles. Sir.
I think one thing is too interesting is that there's no disposition of ranking score. 2 players are like 3 players have 2 kills, 3 players have 1 kill, 6 players total left alive. It could be anyone's game here for those last second eliminations, so they got to be very careful about catching those second hits. Now Star has himself into the corner. Shaw losing a little bit of armor, but he's going to be looking for that regen. He's only got 2 armor patterns after this one heal, but an army coming after the fan is going to have to invest 2 armor patterns at this stage. Now Shaw is going to be at a spot where he's going to disengage here, but Fang, having to be as aggressive as he is, he's going to be locking in to heal towards Shaw. Shaw having get caught into both shots. Now he only has 1 armor powder heal left to go through, and having to kind of work off of his final zone is going to be his biggest problem. He's going to have to look to try and keeping himself alive until those final circles, Dabi, and just trying to look for the beacon blast and trying to launch someone out there. It's best case scenario.
Best case scenario is definitely going to be it for this moment here. Let's see if they can still keep that momentum happening overall, though. Excuse me. Now that time is going to be a little bit more scarce. JJ Star trying to see if maybe they can find it here overall. It looks like JJH trying to see if they can keep that maneuvering up. Oh, there it goes. He tries to find it. Frostibus feels that he knows he's going to attack. He hits the parry on him. And now here comes the chase for some of those other players. It looks like Frosty still wants to be able to keep that same momentum towards him here. He goes, oh, big boy, no, come here. You said you wanted that fight. Let's go get it. Let's get a little active. Let's get a little crazy.
Little Zumba class. A little action there.
Let's get a little crazy.
I think Fang is looking for the extension. I think Shaw might look for the chase instead. Finds himself in the lead against Fang. Fang and now have to rotate around. It's funny too because he also has ripple steps, so he's not gonna have to really worry about getting grapples. But he finds a Dragon Slayer into the Nejots. B1 investment here from Akame, backing off into the corner. We can see GG Shaw looking to try to lock in those pole sword strikes as he's making sure and protecting himself. But a horizontal from Akame forces Shaw away from this position. You see Fang looking for those aerial shots with the RMBs, and this is gonna be a top 5 position between the players into the final 2 minutes. And I think right then and there we could see an opportunity here for maybe one of these players looking for a lucky bow shot.
Question is that bow shot actually going to connect? That's the real doozy here in this moment. Because if one of them connects, that's when things get a little bit scary and a little bit lethal. Because, you know, obviously once you get that nice hit, everybody starts to realize, oh, that's a nice little bow right there to your head. Let's see what's going on here and whether or not if you need some help or not. As GG Shaw is going to be able to back off this, trying to see if he can take his time here. He's already low on health here, and he pops his ult too early here. This might be the end for him, sir. I don't know if he could actually make it through that.
Yeah, Frostfist found the musket shot. He found the angle. He's gotten himself his 4th elimination. He's now kill leader potential for being MVP for this lobby. We got to be careful, though, because there's going to be a lot of people hunting out for that. Who's that person who got my kill? Who stole my kill? Who stole it? Fang is going to be careful about his chance for the beacons drops because he's got to be making sure that it's going to have full extension value for getting a kill potential, potentially, or just burning out ultimates. But there's 3 Zippings versus a Fairy Shen, and you know how it's going to go here. A lot of players will want to try to lock down the Zipping, the Fairy Shen. Parry coming out here from Akame, and with the R&B blast going to come out between both these players, Fang loses his gold fan, and with this, gonna be looking for that beacon drop, and I don't know, this is gonna be a rinse and repeat position, Davi. I don't know, because he's looking to be very careful upon his position upon being a low health Fairy Shen.
He said, I don't know. That's the thing you definitely have to be careful for in some of these situations here when you really are looking at so many momentums here that really can be very hasty as he lands all the way down towards the bottom here, trying to see if he can find a nice bits of hits. Maybe a little bit of something kind of crazy and dangerous here as he has to try to rotate towards this, very much closing the gap here, not looking good as he ends up getting scoured through all of the players. Akame trying to see if he can hold strong a little bit while longer here. Both of them just trying to not necessarily force in terms of who actually ends up getting hit towards the breaker, but then at the same time, you definitely don't want to get pushed out of the circle like Akame does. It's not looking good for Akame though, dangerously low here, and he's still left two more players. He's got to fight in between this.
Careful enough for Kakame. He finds a pole sword and goes straight into stone form, but an army comes out here. This could be a tight position between the top 3 here. Sanchin comes out, gold focus. No, he misses the first set of blue, so it's going to be an automatic second blue focus. But Frostfist, Akame, CDY, they're all tied here for 3rd place. They're all going to get the multiplier. Not a really great extension for those point values, but we